The words are all spelled the same, but how you pronounce it might determine where you come from. Do you have an aunt or an aunt? Do you have data or do you have data? Is it Carmel or Carmel? Is it neither or neither? Do you like pecans or do you like pecans? And if you're going on a trip, are you taking a route or a route? Here in Judges chapter 12, if you gave the wrong pronunciation, it could mean your life. Welcome to the Word for 2021. Again, today we're in Judges chapter 12. Now, Jephthah has defeated the Ammonites in our previous chapter, and now he faces another threat, but this time it's from his own countrymen, the Israelites. In verse 1 we read that the men of Ephraim confronted Jephthah and said, "Why did you go and fight the Ammonites without calling us to go with you? Now we're going to burn down your house over your head." This attack from the Ephraimites is very similar to what they said to Gideon back in Judges chapter 8. It seems as though for years they've held on to a grudge, but now that grudge is going to turn violent. What does Jephthah do? He talks to them and he says, "Now wait a minute, I did call you, but you did not come." Now the Ephraimites, they did not care about the facts. They allowed their jealousy to rule them. So a civil war broke out. In verses 4 through 6, it says that the Ephraimites were defeated, and if any of them tried to escape by crossing back over the river, they were stopped, they were captured, and then they were asked a question. They were asked, "Are you an Ephraimite?" If they said no, then the Gileadites would say, "All right, say Shibboleth," which means small stream. Now, that would be very much like if you lived in Gilead, you would call that small stream a creek. But in Ephraim, you'd call it a crick. So if you said it wrong, then you were killed. And in this conflict, 42,000 Ephraimites, they died. Death came because they said the wrong thing. Salvation, however, came if they said the right thing. Salvation for us comes by saying and believing the right thing too. One name saves us. In Romans chapter 10, verses 9 and 13, we read, "If you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. For everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved." In Philippians chapter 2, verse 10, we read, "At the name of Jesus, every knee should bow in heaven and on earth and under the earth, and every tongue confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, to the glory of God the Father." And finally, in Acts chapter 4, verse 12, "Salvation is found in no one else, for there is no other name under heaven given to men by which we must be saved. And the name that saves us is Jesus." Thank you for joining the Word for 2021.